For news that's live, local, and up to the minute, stay tuned to 10 NBC.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. We're pleased to have our newsmaker today, Robert King, Chancellor of the State of New York. You may remember that Bob King was Monroe County Executive from 1991 to 1995, and then left to join Governor Pataki's administration. Bob, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be home.
And we should also say that before County Executive, you served 3 terms in the State Assembly.
Right.
And before that, Assistant District Attorney. So you had a variety of jobs over the years in public service. But tell me, why did you want to become Chancellor of the State of New York?
Well, Chancellor of the State University of New York. Interestingly, I was getting ready to leave government. I had a very interesting job offer outside of government. And somebody in the governor's administration had learned about that, most notably the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the university. And he called me and said, would you consider coming to the university? And so we spent some time talking about it. I sat down and talked to the governor about it, and because I thought it was important to get his input on it. And ultimately, the decision became pretty easy. There was more money in the private sector, but what I've always been most interested in is doing things that will help enhance the economy of our state. And I can't think of a better way to do that than to do what the economy of the 21st century needs, and that is brain power, and universities is where that happens. So it was a terrific fit.
How is it different being Chancellor of the State of New York SUNY system as opposed to being, for example, a county executive or a budget director for the governor?
Well,
is it a hot seat?
It's a very interesting place. We have 64 campuses. They're spread all across the state. Each campus has a very distinct personality. They're each headed up by a separate president, and the presidents report to me. We have issues that range from the budgetary issues that affect any aspect of any large business, and the State University has an all-funds budget of just under $7 billion. We've got 77,000 employees. We have 3 hospitals. We've got a 600-foot ship that we use at our maritime college down in the Bronx that travels all over the world. We're doing a lot of things internationally to create opportunities for our students and our faculty. And we're raising money through philanthropy. We're going to Washington and bringing research dollars into our campuses. And just to have a part, or to play a part of supporting this enormous enterprise, which ultimately is there to support 386,000 students this semester, is what makes it a very exciting job.
And there were some who questioned your qualifications because you didn't come from the traditional educational or university background.
Right.
Was that a problem?
Well, I thought it was going to be a testy period, and I have to tell you, the faculty, which is really the heart and soul of any university, was very fair, I thought, in terms of waiting before they pass judgment. And in fact, what I think they've come to learn, and what I've certainly come to learn, is that the academic side of what we do is really the province of an office in the university called the Office of the Provost. And we have a wonderful provost, a man by the name of Peter Salins, who is a career academician. But what I do is manage all of the elements of the university that support the academic mission. And that takes other skills that don't necessarily require an academic background. It's not to say that I'm unfamiliar with colleges and universities. As you pointed out, I have an undergraduate degree and I have a law degree. I've actually taught at the collegiate level at St. John Fisher, and then taught professional trial tactics to lawyers for a number of years at the National District Attorney's College in Houston. So I'm not absolutely unfamiliar with this environment, but the skill sets that you need in this job are different and less dependent on the academic side, which I leave to the provost. So As a result, I think that the faculty has grown to understand the role that the chancellor plays and accept the fact that somebody who didn't grow up in the system maybe can add some value. Sometimes
it just takes a fresh point of view.
I hope so.
Which is why many companies sometimes go outside their structure. And well, listen, being a part of the assembly, I would think being in the Albany atmosphere there for those 5 or 6 years has to be a plus, dealing with the assembly and the Senate and the governor.
Well, I hope so. You know, as a state university, we're very dependent on state government for a significant portion of our budget. And so understanding how the system works, understanding the budgeting process, which I had the privilege of being intimately part of when I served as budget director, and having the relationships that I have with, obviously with the governor, with the majority leader in the Senate and the speaker in the Assembly, and a whole array of members that I used to serve with, I hope helps. I think that they are developing a much greater appreciation of the importance and the value of the state university to our economic future, and I'm hopeful that that'll be reflected as we go forward in the next couple of years.
We have a lot of other questions for our guest, Bob King, the Chancellor of the State of New York, when we come back.
Try for as low as $95. The National Drive 95 Vehicle Disposal Event is at Marina Dodge. The National Drive 95 Vehicle Disposal Event ends Monday. Conducted by Marina Dodge.
I was sitting there minding my own business at a red light, and boom, I get hit.
Hurt in a car wreck? Call 800-LAW-1333.
Alexander and Catalano jumped right to it, and the insurance companies fell right over.
Call the heavy hitters.
For Alexander and Catalano.
NBC Monday, Fear Factor is all new. With an episode so extreme, even Joe Rogan can't handle it.
You people are freaks.
Then, Joe faces his fears.
Can I look at?
On a special Fear Factor Just Shoot Me with amazing challenges. The Piranha Grab.
Come here, you little...
The Tube of Goo.
Oh my God!
And the Tub of Trash.
How much if I eat this pizza out of the garbage?
All new Fear Factor and Just Shoot Me. It all starts at 8, 7 Central, NBC Monday.
Wild is love. Whenever
Michael Saviska, recorded live from the Nazareth College Arts Center, Sunday at 10 o'clock on 10 NBC.
When we kiss, love is...
Watch Michael Saviska, recorded live from the Nazareth College Arts Center, Sunday at 10 o'clock on 10 NBC.
It's a new day at RTS, and we're here to take you there.
Our newsmaker today is Robert King, the Chancellor of the State of New York, a Brighton High School graduate, before he went on to become a state assemblyman and county executive here in Monroe County. Do you follow local politics at all?
Well, I certainly get reports from time to time, so I pay attention, and I get back to the community enough so that I stay in touch with my friends.
When you were county executive, did the issue of countywide school districts or a metro government consolidations, did that come into play at all?
Well, I was, my service as county executive was kind of on the back end of the, remember there was the Metropolitan Police proposal that was occurring, I think, during Lou Morin's term, and that had a run and got the public's attention, and it wasn't a big issue when I was serving here, and I know recently that the mayor and the county executive are talking about some public debate on that subject.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any thoughts at all about pluses or minuses to having fewer layers of government or fewer jurisdictions, combining school districts and things like that?
Well, I don't. I don't know the issues well enough anymore to express any opinion on it. I think there's always an interest in trying to streamline government, but you know, what I saw going back to my time is that there really is a sense that people want a sense of local control. I remember that there was a big debate in the village of Fairport, which was in my assembly district, where the village trustees decided to end the local police department, and they did for a period, and the county sheriff took over responsibilities. But within 6 months to a year, the police department was reinstated, and I think it was a reflection of the fact that people like that sense of of local control over things that are so important to them. And police protection obviously is important, and I suspect that schools are important as well. So whether or not that lesson pertains today will be the subject of this debate, but it's certainly an interesting topic.
The new higher standards set by the State Board of Regents and the Education Commissioner, Mr. Mills, students, I think it's at the end of 2002 or 3, must all have passed, seniors anyway, all the Regents exams to graduate and get a Regents diploma. How does that fit in with the SUNY system?
Well, it's very important to us. It's terrible to tell you that my phone is buzzing here, but I'll turn it off.
You can turn that off.
Yeah, it's very important to us. Obviously, the product of our public school system are the students that come to us. And so the better prepared they are, the easier it is for us to be able to get them to be doing collegiate level work rather than having to worry about picking up things that should have been learned in high school, but we have to spend time on at the collegiate level. We're very supportive of the Commissioner's effort in that respect, and in fact what we've been doing is actually reforming the way we prepare our teachers, which are our students who want to become teachers, so that they can meet the expectations and the needs of our public schools.
Do you have the sense that there has been a somewhat of a softening of the educational standards? Are kids today, students today, not up to snuff the way they were when you and I were in school in the 60s?
No, I don't think that's the case. You know, some could make an argument like that if you compared SAT scores from 30 years ago to SAT scores today, although the tests have changed. The kids that are coming in today, certainly into our campuses, are brighter than they have ever been. The issues that they're tackling earlier tend to be much more complicated, the levels of math and science. But the problem is there are too many kids that aren't yet performing at levels that they really need to be able to do. And so the challenge is not that the kids aren't capable of learning as much or that there isn't an opportunity for them to learn as much. I think that the problem is that there's a growing segment of kids that for a variety of reasons aren't taking advantage of the resources that are available to them. And underneath that, we've got to find a way to motivate them and get them interested. I think some of that will come from a smarter use of technology in the classroom, because kids today, and I recount this all the time, that in my household 4 or 5 years ago, my children used to, argue over access to the television set. Today they argue over access to the computer. And they communicate over the computer constantly. They learn over the computer. They buy things over the computer. And so we need to take advantage of and understand how kids react to the technology and do it better in our classrooms.
Before we have to leave, you were telling me during the break about some exciting new things happening internationally. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, we have been working very hard over the last 2 years to develop something called what we call a joint degree. What that means is that students in our system who will choose to participate will be able to simultaneously earn a degree from any one of our campuses and a companion university in Russia or in Turkey, potentially in Mexico, so that upon graduation they'll have degrees from both places. And what that means is, and what the dual degrees demonstrate, is that they've spent at least a year in the other country. They've learned that country's language and culture. They've studied in their major subject in that country, in that university. And we think to more and more businesses that are engaged in international commerce to have employees that can really converse for them and effectively operate in these other countries is a great value. And in an era where the meaning of this thing called a global economy is very real, I think that these young people will be an enormously positive addition to any company that's engaged in international commerce.
And you've traveled extensively, and you will be traveling more. Does this also have the effect of maybe pulling the peoples of the countries together a little bit?
Well, we sure hope so. I mean, I think, and I don't set the foreign policy for the United States, obviously, but I think it's in America's best interest to have prosperous, stable economies everywhere else in the world, because those people will become the customers of our companies.
Well, Bob, it's great to have you back in the chair. I think it's been 6 or 7 years since you've been here.
Yeah, it has.
And we're of course following your progress in Albany, and we thank you for being our guest today.
Thanks. It's nice to see you.
That's Bob King's appearance here on Newsmaker today. We will be back right after this.
You've seen the ads on TV from attorneys who want you to call if you've been injured.
But if you've been injured on the job, you need to talk to a workers' comp attorney.
At Connors and Ferris, we are workers' compensation attorneys.
We've appeared at thousands of hearings and know how confusing and frustrating workers' comp can be.
Protect yourself and protect your family.
Call for our free brochure today.
Connors and Ferris, committed to serving Rochester's injured workers. Call 262-COMP today.
Hi friends, Mike Ognebeen here at Mike Ognebeen Ford in Batavia, the unbeatable dealer. A huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. Take that short ride to Batavia and get some great deals like this. A 97 Buick Skylark, $49 down, only $109 per month. Or how about this 97 Subaru Legacy, an all-wheel drive, $49 down, only $239 per month. Folks, give us that call at 343-1004 or take that short ride to Batavia. We'll see you right here.
All new for 2002 at the fabulous River Edge Resort, the Winter Party Fun Time Package featuring a 20s radio show. Along with deluxe accommodations, enjoy dinner each night, breakfast in the morning, a champagne reception, late night pizza buffet, a wine tasting and cooking demonstration, lounge games, live entertainment, and a hilarious interactive radio show Saturday night. Take an active part in the outrageous fun time. Call 1-800-ENJOY-US today. Your complete resort in the heart of the Thousand Islands, River Edge Resort in Alexandria Bay.
Joining me now are Monroe County Legislator Carla Boyce from Mendon and Monroe County Family Court Judge Anthony Scialino, also a former city councilman in Rochester. And they're here to talk about a new mentoring partnership between Compeer and Juvenile Drug Court. Why don't we start there? Explain, I think many of us have heard the name Compeer and we might think we know what it is. What is Compeer? And then tell us, Judge, about Juvenile or Teen Drug Court.
Okay, well, you introduced me as a Monroe County legislator, and today I'm sitting here in the chair as the coordinator for the mentoring program for Compeer. So I'm representing Compeer today. And Compeer has been around Rochester for about 25 years, is both a national and an international agency that works with the people that have mental illness.
How is, for example, Compeer involved in mentoring in then Juvenile Drug Court?
Right. Well, when the drug court, the Juvenile Drug Court was formed, is my understanding, they were looking for different agencies in the community that could serve the juveniles that were going through drug court to kind of help them along and to nourish them through drug court. And so they put out an RFP for an agency that might be able to come up with something that might be able to help in this. And so Compeer answered the call, and the funding has come from United Way of Rochester and then another grant that comes from the federal government. Mm-hmm. So that's
and
how Compeer.
We'll get into this a little bit more deeply as
Sure.
to what actually goes on. Judge Scialino, many of us have heard and read about drug court and how successful that's been for adults. Is this basically the same idea except for juveniles?
Yes. The adult drug court movement has been in existence probably 10 years. And then because of the good results in adult drug court, 5 years later, the juvenile counterpart came into being. New York State, we're the first and the only juvenile drug treatment court in the state of New York. However, there are probably some 225 already in existence in 43 states. So we're the Empire State, but we're kind of behind the curve on this one. But you need to understand that it's tougher to deal with juveniles than it is with adults when it comes to drug abuse. Because one of the things that you need to do to overcome drug abuse is avoid people, places, and things that are triggers for your drug use.
The street corner, you mean?
Well, yeah, but it's with kids, a trigger might be the family, a trigger might be the home, a trigger might be the school.
I see.
So kids don't have the option, as an adult does, to move out of town or move across town. A kid is kind of saddled with his or her parents, and if his or her parent is also a drug user, or if the brother is using or something, it's tough for you to stop using when people are using in front of you. Or the school that you attend, for example, if it's going on among your peers, it's difficult for you to stop. So it's tougher, in my judgment, to deal with this population, but it's something we need to do because the kids obviously grow up And one of the reasons we did this in Rochester is because we found that some 60 to 70% of adults in adult drug court had come through family court. So we thought that if we could deter them, sooner, they wouldn't get into adult drug court. And of course, the earlier you can intervene and stop people from the destructive lifestyle of drug use, the better it is. The earlier you can intervene, the easier it is to get them off drugs.
And how does CompHERE help now? How does mentoring and what kind of skills do CompHERE volunteers bring?
One of the things that we saw, a lot of these kids come from dysfunctional families, either single-parent families or for intergenerational or multi-generational neglect and abuse families. So these kids don't have good adult role models, not only parent figures, but even just good adult role models. We saw that as a lack in a lot of our kids, and the thought was if we could pair our youngsters with good adult role models in the community who would model good behaviors and teach them alternatives to using drugs to feel good, then the kids would do better, not only in court, but would do better in school, in their home, and in their community. So for us, it was a no-brainer. I mean, you try to determine what the kids lack, and you try to fill the lack. Now, CompHERE works with kids, or with adults and kids, who have emotional or mental health issues. Well, probably 60% of our kids who use drugs have emotional and mental health issues. So here again, it was a no-brainer. CompHERE was a natural. They were a resource within the community that had an established track record, and their track record is excellent. So, we've attempted to identify community groups and agencies that can provide services that our kids need to help maximize the possibility of their being successful. So CompHERE was early identified, and I'm delighted that we have a partnership in place, and we're very, very hopeful that it's going to come to fruition.
We have to take a short break. When we come back, we'll ask Carla to tell us a little bit more about who the mentors are and who the kids are and how this whole process works. Stay with us.
Wild is love. Whenever
Michael Saviska, recorded live from the Nazareth College Arts Center, Sunday at 10 o'clock on 10 NBC.
stormy weather, when we kiss, love is.
Watch Michael Saviska, recorded live from the Nazareth College Arts Center, Sunday at 10 o'clock on 10 NBC.
York Furniture Gallery. Shop now through Sunday and save 30 to 60% during our Super Savings event. Now you can buy quality furniture at affordable prices with free financing until 2003. Save big on sofas and love seats with your choice of fabrics. Save on bedrooms, dining rooms, leather furniture, home office furniture, and much more, including all the brand names you know. Discover for yourself our extraordinary furniture collections, all for less. Buy now and save with no interest until 2003 during York Furniture Gallery's Super Savings event. York Furniture Gallery.
Hey, honey, I just bought a race car.
A race car?
Cadillac Seville, StabiliTrak 2.0, and the powerful Northstar V8 standard.
Yeah, honey. It's a race car.
Breakthrough. Really your Western New York Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
We're back with County Legislator Carla Boyce, who is now also representing CompHERE, and Family Court Judge Anthony Scialino, and we're talking about the new juvenile drug court mentoring partnership with CompHERE and the fact that many of the kids in juvenile court need a role model, an adult, someone with positive behavior to kind of pattern their lives after, and maybe walk down a different road. How do CompHERE volunteers mentor, and how does it work?
Well, we're at the process right now. We're in the recruitment stage, and we will bring our people that are interested in, and I've gotten several calls due to different articles and just people talking it up in the community. But we are looking for mentors, people that are willing to take a chance and be a friend and an advocate for these children who are going through drug court. And
it takes special skills, I would think.
Yeah, we're going to, CompHERE has always had a great training program, a recruitment program, and screening, but it's going to take a special individual, somebody that may have had somebody in their lives that may be touched with either mental illness and or alcohol or drug abuse. And so, you know, these kids are going to maybe react. They may know you one day, they may not know you the next day, they may like you one day or not, and it's got to be a person that's not going to take that personally, somebody that really understands these kids.
And the Compeer volunteers, do they undergo special training?
Yes, they do. We go through a training process, a screening process, and I want whoever is going to be a mentor to know that I'll be there as their coordinator. They can lean on me. We've got a team approach within the drug court that we have a lot of people that sit around the table every week, and we understand what's going on in these kids' lives. So if maybe a youth acts differently one day, he can come to, a mentor can come to us and say, well, why would they be acting this way in one day or another? Maybe something happened in their lives that day.
What is the risk that a person would take? I mean, not physical risk, but I mean, you open yourself up, as the Compeer volunteers do, to people that may not be reacting to you in a way that's, like, as you said, may not be pleasant.
Yeah, well, I look at it as an adventure. I mean, if they're willing to take some time out of their lives every week for these youths, you know, they're going to brighten up their day. I think a lot of what I'm hear from a lot of people that use alcohol and drugs is that it's something that they're not finding in their lives right now. They don't have the confidence and the self-esteem in themselves, and until they realize that, and I think that's what I want to touch in these kids' life, is that they are good kids and there's something good in them. And so I think that that's what I need from these mentors, is to find that they can bring that out in these kids.
Mm-hmm. Judge, we have heard the phrase breaking the cycle of poverty, for example. Can you break the cycle of drug abuse?
Yes. Drug courts, as I said, they've been in existence, juvenile drug courts, for some 5 years. And there are impressive results using the technique. And we're seeing it here in Monroe County. Back in December, we had our first graduation, and we graduated 5. And to a person, if when they came into the court, if somebody would have asked me, Judge, do you think these kids are going to, you know, make it to graduation? I would have said, hell no. They're impossible. They're incorrigible. But the system works. I mean, we've got caring people who relate to them, who care for them, who affirm them, who are there to nurture them. I mean, and don't get me wrong, when they need to be disciplined, they are, up to and including going to detention for several days. But we also reward them for the good behavior. And over time, these kids really come to relate and understand that they're cared for and that they have inherent goodness. They've just been sidetracked, but they need to find the goodness in themselves, and we're there to help them do that.
And I know if anybody is interested, they would probably call Carla Boyce at Compeer.
Yes, and that would be 546-8280.
546-8280.
Right.
Carla, thank you. Always good to see you. Judge Shalino, good to see you as well.
Thank you, Ray. Good to see you.
My thanks also to the Chancellor of the State of New York, Bob King, for being our earlier guest. And we'll see you in 2 more weeks for Newsmaker.